Why don't you tell us how you first got in contact with Lori?
A year ago, I became a victim of domestic abuse, and I left, and I came to Fremont. In that point in time, by the grace of God, I hooked up with a realtor who had a loan officer that was willing to help me. And as the process went through, they sent me to TrueNorth, and I met Lori, and she was very helpful in the classes that I needed to take. Everything just fell into place.
Last minute.
Last minute.
Very last minute.
Lori, from your end, what was the first, how did this come to you?
Well, the lender had contacted me and wanted to know if I had a home buyer education class because she needed to take it before they could close, but he was worried because he was very upset because she was going to be homeless.
How close were you to being homeless? Weeks? Days?
At the time, my son was homeless, and I was trying to obviously put a roof over my head as well as him. I was staying with friends, and they were very kind and they were very generous, but my time
Was up.
there was, it was time for me to move on.
So in order for her to attend the class, she had to come in just before, fill out the documents. So I added her to the class. She took the class, and then the next morning, so she could get her certificate, because we did evening class. So the very next morning, she was my first person on the day. I give her her certificate, sent one to her lender so he could schedule closing. This was on a Friday.
Okay.
So, I mean, and he was, because it was almost time for them to have to renegotiate her application again because time was up. So she was under a lot of stress. So I made it, we did it, we made it happen. And he sent me, he thanked me so many times, and he was so nice, and he scheduled her closing on the 13th, right?
Yep.
So that was that Monday.
Yeah.
How soon after closing were you able to move in?
The same day.
Wow, so that really was, so, okay, and now I don't want to speculate, but if that hadn't happened, where would you have gone? What would you have done?
I was pretty tapped out on cash as it was, and I didn't want to get further into debt, but I probably would have tried to find a long-term or short-term hotel that would be willing to work with me, because it was so cold at Christmas. It was so cold.
Is your son an adult?
He is.
Does he live with you?
Yes, he does.
And you said he was homeless, so this was a twofer.
He does not work. He has some issues, and we're working on those right now. But it was important to me to make sure he had a safe and secure environment. I love my little house, and it's been worth it. And I'm house proud. I want my house to look nice, and I want it to be aesthetic for the whole neighborhood, and in a place where you can go to relax and enjoy yourself. And